Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kame sumichachara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Suramerayamachapamadatana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Karaniyamatta kusalena yantam santam param abhisameche. Sako ujucha sujucha suvachocha samuduvanatimani. Santu sakocha subarocha apakichocha salahukavuti. Santindriyocha nipakocha apagabo kule suvananukiro. Nachakuram samachare kinchiyena vinyu pareyu pavareyum. Sukhino vakemino hontu sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Ye kechipana bhutati tasavata varava anavasesa. Tikavaye famanta pamajimarasaka nukatula. Ditavaye fa aditaye chadure vasanti avidure. Bhutava sambhave siva sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Naparo param nikobeta natimanyeta katachinam kamchi. Yadosana patigasanya nanyamanya sadukamicheye Mata yatanyam puttam ayusahe kaputtam anurake Evam pisabhabhuteshu manasam bhavaye aparimanam Metam cha sabhalokasmim manasam bhavaye aparimanam Udamarochatidiyanche asambadam avedam asapatam Titam charam nishinno vasayano vayavata savigatamido Etam satim aditeya brahmametam viharam idamahu Titincha anupagama sillavadasanena sampano Kamesu vineya gedam nahi jatu gabaseyam Punarititi. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world.
After this powerful chanting, now we continue our meditation practice for a short while. Our mind, our mind needs our help, support and guidance to be wise mind. With this self-kindness and self-caring, see what the mind needs right now, what kind of help or what kind of support, what kind of guidance. if the mind is having full of thoughts, full of unnecessary garbages, then can we help our mind to unload them, to purify the mind by letting go of them? habitually, the mind becomes emotional. Let us help our mind to be neutral just by bringing some awareness, some mindfulness. instead of helping or wondering, thinking about this and that. Let us help our mind to stay in the present, not to waste energy by building up unnecessary stories. Now, slowly open your eyes, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the discussion. My name is Paul. I have the pleasure to, to facilitate this discussion. If you would like to raise a question or if you would like to share something, there are two ways to do that. On the bottom of your screen, there is a chat box. If you click on the chat icon, then you can type your question or your message and you can send it to me. So my name is Paul Van, V-A-N, and then there's another part, Hoydonk. So you can send it to me and I will present your question or your sharing to Upul. Or you can simply raise your hand and ask your question or share whatever you would like to share directly. So I think there is one question at the moment, but first I have a request for Upul. Upul, you were very much in the dark the last half hour. So is it maybe possible to switch on the light so we can see you better? That's my first question. And also the sound was not very loud for me. I don't know how it was for other people, but for me it was not very loud. So maybe you can, yes, this is better. Perfect. And maybe you can switch the volume of your microphone a little higher. If that is possible, then we can hear you better because it was very silent.
How
I
about
could,
now?
yeah, this is good. This is better. Perfect. Thank you. So the first question is from Doris. She asks how to differentiate wise from unwise. Upul, I pass on the word to you. How to differentiate wise from unwise?
What are the differences between wise and unwise?
Exactly, yeah, that's a question. So how to differentiate? How can we, yeah, I don't know the English word. How can we say this is wise or this is unwise?
Well, the wise, the wisdom does not have this doubt. The wisdom knows what is wise. Only the unwise has the doubt. Is this wise thing or unwise thing? So whenever we have doubts, then better to reflect on those doubts and not to come to any conclusion or not to make any decision when the mind is doubtful. Better to postpone to make a decision or to come to a conclusion, and then we better to observe the situation. So we had to go through those procedures, observe the situation, and we had to collect more information. We had to collect more information, and also we better to discuss with the wise person. We better to discuss with the wise person. Usually, there is, let me, wait a minute, please.
How about now? Good. Yeah, thanks. Recently, I read small quotation, I think from Nelson Mandela. I think, I'm not sure, but I think. And that saying says, there are no different religious people or different nationalities or different races or poor and rich people. No, there are no such separations. Only two kinds of people, wise and unwise. Unwise people makes differences between among human. I am Sri Lankan and you are Belgium. I am Buddhist. You might be Christian or something. So only unwise people or unwise minds creates differences, not the wise mind. The wise mind is collecting everything together. The wise mind see one world. The unwise mind sees pieces of worlds. It makes pieces, world into many pieces, small parts. And that's why conflicts are there. All the conflicts are coming from unwise mind. So whenever we are in a conflict, that means there is some unwise thinking behind it. Always an unwise thinking is behind all kinds of conflicts. So it's not so difficult to differentiate wisdom and or wise and unwise through our own experiences, not literally and not intellectually, on our own experiences, from our own experiences. And there is something interesting. That's also I heard this, that we use this word philosophy or philosopher. I heard it's the literal meaning of this word is who loves wisdom, not theories, wisdom, not the knowledge, wisdom. And there is a Buddhist word, bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is very famous. One who is fulfilling Buddha's Buddhahood qualities. The person who is fulfilling Buddhahood qualities called Bodhisattva. He or she is not a Buddha yet, but fulfilling all kinds of qualifications. And the meaning of this word, Bodhisattva, Bodhi means wisdom, and Asakta means who, again, who loves the wisdom. So interesting. Enough or more? Enough, no?
Thank you, Upal. So, Doris, wisdom knows what is wise, and when there is no wisdom, there is doubt. When there is doubt, it is better not to come to a conclusion. When the mind is doubtful, or it is better to postpone the decision and to observe the situation, to collect more information first. We can also discuss things with a wise person. Upul recently read a quote from Nelson Mandela saying, "There are no differences between people from a different race, different nationality, different religion. There are only two kinds of people, wise and unwise people." Unwise people create differences or highlight differences among people, Buddhist versus Christian, Sri Lankan versus another nationality. But wise people see one world. The unwise mind divides the world into many parts, into many pieces. Conflicts arise from an unwise mind. So it is not difficult to differentiate wise or unwise thinking. It's interesting that the Greek word philosophy literally means to love wisdom. The Eastern word Pali or Sanskrit, bodhisattva, means the person who is fulfilling qualities of the Buddha. And bodhi means wisdom, sattva means one who loves wisdom. So, Doris, is this a satisfying answer for you? I'm not hearing or seeing any reaction. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm satisfied with the answer.
Thank you, Doris. So, I go to the second question, which is from Patrick. I understand Upul suggests we need to rely on observation and not on books when we want to collect information. Are there any other circumstances we can use books in order to help us with contemplation and decision making? So, Upul, are there any situations that books can be useful for us? Thank you for shining your light on this.
Thanks, Paul. And thanks, dear Doris, for saying that you are satisfied with the answer. And thanks, dear Patrick, for asking this present question. It is also very interesting. Well, yes, books. Can you hear now? No. Yes. Yes, of course. interesting books are there, and some books, come from wise people. Maybe they wrote those books, and mostly they don't write books, but when they say something, and some people transcribe it and then publish books. Therefore, some hints are there, hints. Some seeds are there. And therefore, we can, when we read those books, some secret doors open. We can open some secret doors which were closed, but after reading, we have new points of views. That's true. But to be honest, books are dead. All the books are dead. The books are not, they cannot speak to us. The books cannot speak to us. We can read them, of course, we can read them. But it has past information. Whenever somebody is speaking to us, maybe a wise person is speaking to us, it is very live. It is so fresh and live. But soon after, it becomes a knowledge. And knowledge is something dead. That means it is not live. Therefore, by being with the wise person and by listening to wise person is a different experience than just reading a book. But still, of course, some seeds are there. Maybe some live seeds are there. So if we can pick up those rare live seeds while we are reading a book, of course, then we can plant them and we can support them to get the fruit of wisdom. That's possible. But no wisdom in any books. Wisdom is always live. It is speaking to us. We can directly connect to it. And the wisdom is speaking directly to us, to me, to you. It is not generally speaking to the whole world. But books are different. So there is a huge difference between reading a book and being with the wise person.
Thank you, Upul. So, Patrick, there are interesting books from wise people. Mostly those wise people spoke words that other people wrote down. And when we read those books, some secret doors open. But to be honest, books are dead. They cannot speak to us. We can read them, but they contain past information. When a wise person is speaking to us, that is alive. Soon after that, it becomes knowledge, and knowledge is dead. Listening to a wise person is a different experience than reading a book. Wisdom is alive. Spoken wisdom is alive. It is speaking to us directly, to me and to you. So reading a book is different. Is that clear, Patrick? Do you want to add anything, or do you have any other question?
No, just thank you for the answer. Indeed, it clarifies more. So then I understood a couple of hours ago. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. At the moment, there is no further question in the chat box. So if anybody feels like raising a question directly, please feel free. Upeka, please go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Upul had asked me a few months ago, how is my meditation going? And it's not going very well. And I think it's because of some medication side effects that I'm experiencing. And I need this medication, and so I can't stop taking it, but it makes it very difficult to quiet down my mind. And so he suggested, well, he asked me if I had tried meditation on sensation. And I don't know what that is and how to do that. I looked on the internet a bit, but since we're here, I thought I would ask him directly for some information about what it is and how to do it.
Upeka, you said Upul told you something about meditation on what?
Sensation.
Sensation. Okay. So Upul, can you say something about this, please?
Good morning, Upeka.
Good morning.
I think it's my karma. Well, well, yes. And then you asked how to meditate on. You did ask how to meditate on sensations, and I didn't respond to it. So now, no choice. I had to respond. Well, yeah. You were saying that you are experiencing some side effects of medication. So you can start with them. You can meditate on those side effects. And you better to not to use this word, at least during your meditation time, side effects. Without using this label, just observe or just know what you are experiencing. Just try to watch, just try to feel, and just try to sense, and just try to witness to whatever you experience physically, not psychologically, physically with your body. And yeah, you can start with the close sensation, what is very powerful and strong, and then go to next sensation or next side effect, a little bit less strong. Like that, you can go to subtle and subtle side effects from the powerful one, and then you can go up and down from subtle side effect to the powerful one, powerful sensation to the subtle sensation. So this is one of the easiest way to do meditation on physical sensation. And while you are meditating on those sensations, so-called side effects, see what's the mental reaction towards them, how the mind is reacting to them or responding to them. Is mind resisting them? Does mind say, no, I don't want this? Does mind dislike them? It's okay. It is okay. Please do not judge. Do not judge whatever the mind is doing. Just see what the mind is saying. Whenever you notice that there is something in the body, and then look at the mind and see what the mind is doing or how the mind is making anything towards that sensation. Maybe no reaction. Then go to the next sensation and notice it, feel it, sense it fully. And then look at the mind and see what the mind is saying about it. And go to the next one, next one, next one. So this is something you can enjoy, actually. And I always say this, that we don't listen to our body and mind because we are busy, but they want to say, they want to tell us so many things which they think very important, maybe not important for us, but for them, for the body and for the mind, they are very important. And of course we can ignore them, but and then we forget, but they don't forget. The mind and the body do not forget what they want to tell us, so they keep them. And that's why we experience pressure and so-called psychosomatic issues, because the body and mind are keeping those unexpressed messages. And meditation on sensation is one of the very wise and kind ways to open up our body and mind to release those deposits. So please start to do it right now.
Okay, Upika, start with meditating on those side effects. That is what Upul recommends. It is better not to use this word, side effects. Just try to witness whatever you experience physically. And start with the strongest sensation, the most powerful, and then you can go to observing more subtle sensations. Meditation on physical sensations is one of the easiest ways also to feel the mental reaction to those physical sensations. That is also an important part of it. Don't judge, just see what the mind is saying about them. Feel the sensations and see what the mind says about them. You can enjoy that. The body and mind do not forget. So-called psychosomatic diseases basically mean that the body and the mind bring to the surface what was hidden. It's a way to release tension that was hidden. Is there anything you would like to add, or any more question or unclarity?
Yeah, thank you for that. And I will definitely try it for the physical sensations, but the medication side effects that I'm dealing with are mostly psychological, and they're mental side effects. So I'm on a cocktail of different medications that we're still trying to figure out what's the best combination for many months now. But one of them was giving me really negative thoughts, and the other one makes it very difficult to sleep, and my mind just is like talking more. Because it's like steroids and stimulants and stuff like that. And so most of the side effects are mental, and I didn't realize that that's what I was dealing with, like that they were medication side effects. I just thought something's wrong with me, because now I feel like depressed and I can't sleep and my mind is just chattering all the time and can't focus and stuff. And so I pared it down from like 5 or 6 different medications to just the 3 that I can stay on, but they have these side effects where it really makes it hard to quiet down. Sorry, that's my kid.
Okay, thank you. I think your son agrees with what you said. So Upul, the side effects are mental, negative thoughts, the mind is talking more, and feelings of depression.
And overstimulation, like can't sleep, and then it's just like spiraling. Can't sleep as well.
Well, be happy, dear Upekka, to have all these gems and jewels with you. Oh, wow, I feel very sorry for you. I don't know why you get those medicine, for what purpose, to cure what, but anyhow, you better to speak with the doctor and please inform to the doctor about those side effects. And then the doctor may change medicine or may add more medicine to tranquilize the mind, because it's so talkative now and difficult to sleep and a lot of negative thoughts. I think even the doctor did not expect these things. Anyhow, still you can do this meditation on sensation, physical sensation. So this is actually better to meditate on the body rather than being with the mind and involved into all those difficulties and analyze them. Is too much. Really, it's too much. Therefore, you better to stay with the body and being with the body. So if you can do some walking meditation or working meditation or mindfulness in motion, that's the best. That is the best. Doing something physically which you can enjoy, and at the same time you can meditate on what you are doing. And yeah, once I was conducting a retreat, a meditation retreat, and I was sick, high fever. And then one of the participants brought a doctor, medical doctor, and with some medicine for high fever and cough and influenza. So I had all these full package, influenza, fever, and coughing. So the doctor gave me 5 different kinds of drugs. And then there was another, I think a nurse was in the retreat, and she wanted to check the medicine, what the doctor gave me. And then she said, yeah, there is paracetamol for fever and something else also for the fever, and the third medicine for the depression. And it is interesting. And then she said that medicine, that drug for depression is actually for the side effect of the first 2 medicine. The first 2 medicine or medication may cause some depression as a side effect. So that's why the doctor gave the 3rd and the 4th and 5th. Actually, they are not medicine. They are medicine for side effects. So one of the side effects is the depression. Anyhow, so this is how medicine works now. Why you are not going for Chinese medicine?
I am. I'm doing both.
Yeah, that's, I think, better. And it is good that you are aware on those side effects. And it is also, you are wise to recognize them as side effects, not as your nature. Instead of thinking, this is, I am thinking negatively. No, it's a side effect of medicine. It's good. That means you are not identifying those happenings with yourself. It is really good. You can create some distance in between yourself and those side effects. That is really wise. Therefore, don't think they are coming from you. They are coming from the medicine through you. They are coming through you, not from you. And even that, yeah, you can watch them. If they are disturbing you, then you can watch them. And the most important thing is, Upekka, you are not becoming negative because of negative thoughts. You are not becoming negative because of negative thoughts. You are becoming negative by doing negative things, by taking negative actions, not because of negative thoughts. So as long as you are not taking any negative actions, then you are not negative. You are still positive. So feel this, your positivity. Only thoughts are negative, but you are positive.
Thank you very much, Upul. So I think the last thing you said was very useful for all of us. Only thoughts are negative, and our actions create the negativity or not the thoughts. Thank you. So, okay, there are a couple of questions in the chat box. From Sylvia, can you please give some points about what is a wise friend and also how to be a wise friend? So Upul, what is a wise friend and how can we be a wise friend?
Thanks, Sylvia, for this question. Let me think how to be a wise friend and how to choose a wise friend. Well, the first thing is wise friends are not judging us. They don't judge us. But at the same time, they do not ignore us. So we have some friends, they don't judge us. And also, they don't care about whatever we do. So that is not, they are not wise friends. They might be friends, but not wise friends. Wise friends do not judge us, but they care of us. So they are looking sharply what we are doing. And usually people or friends are speaking about results, outcomes. But wise people, wise friends, yeah, of course they notice the outcome as well, but they are more concerned about what is behind it, why we are doing like that, why we are being emotional, why we are being angry. So usual people, friends are talking about our anger or whatever, emotions and emotional actions. They judge us through our emotional actions, but wise friends, they help us to find the roots, seeds. And it is easier to blame or easier to say you are naughty or this is wrong, but very difficult to help us to be right. Wise friends are helping us to do right things. They help us. By giving advices, but more than that, by being wise examples. They talk less and give us a lot of examples. Their whole life is an example. Like a mirror. Wise friends are like mirrors to see us. When we are being with wise friends, actually by their with their soft and wise behaviors, we can see our own nature. our own self. So how to be a wise friend? The first thing is, it should come from the heart, as I said this morning. True friendliness. We want to help them. We want to help them. Not to find any position in their life. We are not interested in that. If we want to be a true friend or wise friend, we are not looking for any positions. And we are not expecting anything in return, personally. Only we concern them. We are concerning for their well-being. And next thing is, if we want to be wise friends, then we should know how to be patient. We had to wait for the right moment, and we had to wait for the right time, right place to help to the other person. No hurry, no hurry. We do not become stressed because of helping others. That is not a wise way. Because of whatever reason, we should not be stressed. If we be stressed, then we cannot help others. So we have to learn how to relax ourselves, especially in difficult situations, to help others. I think this is enough, Paul.
Thank you, Upul. So, Sylvia, how do we recognize a wise friend? Wise friends do not judge us. Wise friends also do not ignore us. Wise friends care about us. Wise friends are concerned about why we do things, our motivation. They help us to find the root, to dive deeper into our motivation. It is easy to blame people, it is difficult to help. Wise friends help us to do the right thing by giving us advice, but most importantly, by being the wise example. They talk less, they are like a mirror to us, and they help us to see our own nature. How can we be a wise friend ourselves? It should come from the heart. It is through friendliness. We want to help them. We are not looking for a position in their life. We are not expecting anything in return. Patience is important. We should know how to be patient and wait for the right time and the right place. That means that we do not hurry or we do not live under stress. So Sylvia, is that a satisfying answer to your question? I'm trying to find you. Yes, a thumb. Okay. Thank you, Sylvia. I go to the next question, which is a question from Mandy. Dear Paul, my questions are, when we say somebody is wise, does that mean he can see things in a wise way? Is it possible that somebody is wise in a certain area but not wise in another area? So these are two questions, Upul. The first question is, when we say somebody is wise, does that mean that person can see things in a wise way? That's question number one. Question number two is it possible that a person is wise in a certain area but not wise in another area?
Yes, Mandy, exactly. Wise person means it's not a title or position. It is mainly depending on the way we thinking. So if somebody is thinking wisely, then of course talking wisely and living wisely. But there is no way to live and talk wisely if we do not think wisely. So think wisely. Thinking wisely is the base and the foundation for living wisely. So this is the answer for the part A of your question. And the answer for part B, well, yes and no. Wise, wise people are, their wisdom is, what to say, working in some areas nicely and not in some other area. That's your question. Anyhow, there is two different words, wise and clever, wisdom and clever. Sometimes they are going together, cleverness and wisdom. So it is extremely difficult to differentiate what is clever and what is wisdom. It's possible, but not easy to differentiate these two, cleverness and wisdom. And most of the times we misidentify, misrecognize cleverness as wisdom. Is not. Wise people are always wise. Always wise means whenever they think wisely, then they are wise. And that wisdom is mainly concentrated on only two areas. One area is for own well-being, for own healthiness, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional healthiness, and for others' well-being. So purposely wise people are not doing anything to hurt or harm oneself and others. Instead of that, they do help oneself and others to increase physical, mental, and spiritual healthiness. So this is the indication. But of course, some areas they may not clever. We cannot say wise people should be clever, always should be clever. No, maybe they are not clever in cooking or in driving a car. or in certain sports, certain games. But if they are wise, then they are not putting themselves or others in danger by doing which they can't do. So if they are wise, of course, then they are not putting themselves or others by doing things which they cannot do properly. If somebody is doing things which that person is unable to do, then he or she is not wise. This is very simple to recognize.
So, Mandy, about the first part of your question, wise is not a title or a position. It depends on the way we think. Thinking wisely is the base or the foundation of living wisely. About the second part of your question, if it is possible that a person is wise in a certain area and not wise in another area, that would imply that the wisdom is working nicely in some areas, but not in other areas. And Upul makes a distinction between wisdom and being clever. Wisdom and cleverness, sometimes they go together, but not always. And it is difficult to differentiate the two, but it is possible. Wisdom is concentrated on two areas. One, on our own well-being, our own physical and psychological and spiritual health. And the second area that wisdom is concentrated on is on the well-being of others and the health of others. So basically, wise people don't do anything that hurts or that harms oneself or others. What they do is helpful for themselves and for others. Now, in some areas, they may not be clever, like in cooking or in driving a car, but if they are wise, they don't put themselves in danger by doing those things. Is that clear, Mandy? Would you like to add anything or to have something clarified?
Yes, very clear. I don't have anything to add. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
A question of Lauren Bausch. Can Upul give us an update on how he is doing during the financial crisis in Sri Lanka? So Upul, how are you doing during this financial crisis in Sri Lanka?
Thanks a lot for this inquiry. I really appreciate your concern. Well, what to say? Yeah, I am part of Sri Lanka, and Nilambi is also part of Sri Lanka. Therefore, whatever happens to Sri Lanka, it affects to me and Nilambi. So, therefore, of course, some difficulties are there, but fortunately, because of two reasons, we can survive. The first reason is because of friends like you. So they always ask about what we need, and they always try to offer whatever they can. So this is, we are very fortunate to have true friends. And the second reason that Nilambe is, you know, it's very simple place. So we do not have electricity or some modern facilities. And now whole Sri Lanka is like Nilambe, less or more. So, and we were living on the ground, on the earth. Nilambe is always living on the earth, not in the sky. Therefore, I think still we can survive without falling down. And as you know that before, when Sri Lanka was very not rich, but not in this financial crisis, and even some rich people, they wanted to offer so many things to Nilambe. And as you know, that I gently and kindly say no, we don't need any luxuries or comforts for Nilambe, and let us live simply. And I think because of this simplicity, we can still, Nilambe can still, and I myself can still live without having any major issue or problem or difficulty.
Thank you, Upul. I think that was clear for everybody. There's a question from Claudia. What's the difference between metta and wisdom, or is it somehow the same thing? So what is the difference between metta and wisdom, or is it the same?
Well, metta is a feeling. Metta comes from the heart. We can say true friendliness or unconditional love or non-judgmental friendliness, whatever. It's a feeling. And wisdom is not a feeling. It's a vision. It's a clarity of the mind. Insightful thinking, insightful thoughts. So simply we can say metta is working with the heart and wisdom is working with the mind or brain. And to practice metta, we need some wisdom. That is important. Otherwise, one can be very emotional just by practicing metta, just by cultivating unconditional love without having any wisdom. Then of course, without using any wisdom, then of course, easier to be emotional. Difficult to create borders or boundaries or limitations. But wisdom knows, the wisdom comes also, as I said in the morning, the procedure of being wise person starts from the heart. So therefore, the seed of wisdom is, seed of metta, seed of true love is inside of wisdom.
Okay, Claudia. Metta is a feeling. It comes from the heart. Unjudgmental friendliness, you could call it. Wisdom is not a feeling. Clarity of the mind, it is a vision. Or you could call it insightful thought. So metta is connected with the heart. Wisdom is connected with the mind or with the brain. To practice metta, we need a degree of wisdom. Otherwise, our metta practice becomes emotional. Without wisdom, there are no boundaries. So that is why wisdom is also important in metta practice. Is that clear, or would you like to ask another question? So at the moment there are no more questions in the chat box. Maybe somebody would like to raise his or her hand and ask a question directly. So then I will very briefly share something. I have to go now, I have to leave, so I will give the, how do you call that, the hosting capacity to Kema maybe, or to Claudia. I guess I give it to Kema as we had discussed before. And I would simply like to mention that those of you who would like to give a donation for Upul and for Nilambe, you can always do that. And you can simply do that by putting money on the bank account of Mar that is mentioned in the invitation letter. Thank you so much. I think it's very needed and also useful for Upul and Nilambe. So Claudia is the host now, I understood. So I'll let you continue this meditation day. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you. dear Paul.
Sorry, I didn't understand, Upal.
Thanks a lot, dear Paul, for your support and help for this retreat, and especially for the discussion. And have a nice evening, and have a nice and wise satsanga.
Thank you so much, my friend. See you next time.
See you.
Okay, Paul and Mark are still there, but I think they both are leaving now. And actually, when I read the schedule correctly, more or less, we have come to the end. But yeah, still, if there is any further wish for a sharing or a question. Becca?
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and especially to Mar and you for organizing this retreat and for posting the videos on the Nalambe channel, and also to Upul for providing the content for the retreat. But I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and these retreats and the time together. Thanks.
So Upul, would you like to end this session maybe as well with some words?
Nice to see you, Claudia, at the end of the retreat. Were you there from beginning?
No, I had only the chance to join for the afternoon for the question and answer session now.
Yeah, good. And dear friends, yeah, we all feel grateful for organizers of the retreat, especially for Mark and you, Claudia. I know both of you are busy because of some other activities and some other spiritual activities as well. But you always give priorities for this Nilambe programs, and therefore many of us can get benefits, a lot of benefits out of your voluntary services. Therefore, behalf of all the participants, I pay my and others gratefulness, gratitude to both of you. And dear friends, yeah, physically we are living far away from each other, really far away. Some of you are in Europe and some of you are in America and maybe Australia, Asia. But time to time, we are coming together and being together. So monthly we may have a couple of activities together, and this is one of the main activities. And we all need friends. Especially we all need spiritual friends. We are not depending on anybody, but we are walking together. Therefore, thanks for participating to this retreat. And I hope this retreat also gives you some light onto your path to walk smoothly and peacefully. May all of you be happy, and may all of us be well, and may all of us be wise enough to overcome our suffering in soon. Thank you.